Hey, good evening, everybody. Happy Friday. For those of us who don't have to work tomorrow. What am I talking about? I'm still working for 4 hours tomorrow. Never mind. Anyways, but still, happy weekend. For those that celebrate the Sabbath, happy Sabbath. It's Friday. I hope everybody gets some nice chill time this weekend, nice family time. But tonight, here we are again, meeting to read the Word. And as always, as disclaimer, as always, yes, I have my dogs with me. Late at night, I'm the only one up. Wherever I go, they go. Please forgive me. They playing behind me right now. See if I can get them to stop and lay down. Because they have a bedtime. They have a clock, an internal clock. They just know when to lay down and go sleep. But it seems like that's not what they want to do right now. Anyways, okay. So tonight, chapter 7, Matthew, is where we are picking back up. As always, I will be reading from my King James 1611 version of the Holy Bible. And to break things down, I have my the Message remix, which just gives you longer versions of each scripture, just kind of breaking it down, layman's terms, easier for people to read. Stop. As always, if you don't have a copy of the Message, but you want to follow along, you want to be able to break things down for yourself, you can always, sorry y'all, hey, y'all stop now. You can always, on the Bible app, they have the version now where at the top, when you click on the Bible, well, they never listen to me anyway. You can click at the top. You can pick what version you want to read. The Message is now in there. So if you're reading something under King James Version, makes no sense to you, you can click on the Message and it breaks it down easier for you. Hey, Marta. All right. So let's go ahead and get into this, because my dogs just, okay, yeah. All right, pray for me, y'all. Pray for me. And of course, if you have any questions too as we go along, please feel free to put them in the comments or send me a message. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. And if you have any prayer requests, please feel free to send them to me through Messenger, or you can place them in the comments. But of course, like I said, if you're not comfortable with that, send it through Messenger. And as always as well, there are names of cities and people in these books I can't always pronounce, like many people out there. Don't come for me if I say them wrong. But all right. So, chapter 7 begins with, "Judge not, that ye be not judged. For with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged. And with what measure ye meet, it shall be measured to you again. And why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but considerest not the beam that is in thine brother, that is in thine own eye?" So, I'm gonna go ahead and read the broken down version of it just in case. Because I know sometimes these and thous, I get confused myself. So that was verse 2 and 3. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. I'll just go ahead and read the main parts here. So I'll just start at the beginning with 1. "Don't pick on people, jump on their failures, criticize their faults. Unless, of course, you want the same treatment. That critical spirit has a way of boomeranging. It's easy to see a smudge on your neighbor's face and be oblivious to the ugly sneer on your own." So there is much debate about this within the church. I can only give you what I have been led to believe when it comes to this. You don't go after people in a negative, ugly way. Now, if they're doing something that's not biblical, even still, you're supposed to speak to people with love and respect. And Jesus does call for us to point these things out in each other. However, you don't go up to somebody just, oh, Lord, I don't know what it is tonight. They do not want to listen. Give me 1 minute. I'll be right back. Come on, Grim. Okay, I keep one, and the other one, well, he's old enough he can stay out there by himself, so. But in other words, when you speak to people, speak to them with love and respect. But you just don't go after them, nitpicking everything, especially for something that you're still doing. Come on now. You can't just be out there telling somebody, well, you're not supposed to be doing this, and you're still secretly doing it. It's not right. But that's another conversation we can have at another time. Of course, you want to go into it deeper, please feel free to reach out to me. Let's go ahead and move on to chapter 4. Or how wilt thou say to thy brother, let me pull out the mote out of thine eye? Behold, a beam is in thine own eye. Thou hypocrite, first cast out the beam out of thine own eye, and then shalt thou see clearly to cast out the mote out of thy brother's eye. Well, I already broke that down, so perfect. Give not that which is holy unto the dogs, neither cast ye your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn again and rend you. So just to break that down, I need one of those Strong's Bibles too, where you can break down like the words and everything. Those ones are pretty awesome. But just to break down verse 6, don't be flip with the sacred. Banter and silliness give no honor to God. Don't reduce holy mysteries to slogans. In trying to be relevant, you're only being cute and inviting sacrilege. Well, that just called it all out. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. On to verse 7. Ask and it shall be given to you. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and it shall be opened unto you. For every one that asketh receiveth, and he that seeketh findeth. And to him that knocketh it shall be opened. Or what man is there of you, whom if his son ask bread, will he give him a stone? Or if he ask a fish, will he give him a serpent? If ye then, being evil, know how to give good gifts unto your children, how much more shall your Father which is in heaven give good things to them that ask him? Therefore, all things whatsoever ye would ask men should do to you, do ye even so to them. For this is the law of the prophets. Enter ye in at the strait gate. For wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. Because strait is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. That's been a whole thing today. That seems to have been everywhere. I don't know. Maybe this is a word for somebody. I keep seeing this everywhere today. If you want me to break that down, I will. That was chapter 7, verse 13. I feel that. Don't look for shortcuts to God. The market is flooded with surefire, easygoing formulas for a successful life that can be practiced in your spare time. Don't fall for that stuff, even though crowds of people do. The way to life, to God, is vigorous and requires total attention. I see what they were doing there, but that's not quite how I take the verse. In other words, the plain way that people say it is, wide is the gate and broad is the way that leads to evil, which is here what they call destruction. And there's many ways to which you can go that way. But straight and narrow is the way that leads to heaven. I encourage everybody to speak to God on that. And as I always say, please be patient when it comes to waiting on God. Remember, God doesn't answer things in our time. He answers things in his own time because his timing is perfect for everything. I mean, of course, though, you have pastors. I'm always here if you have questions. If you question, like, what is a sin? But like I said, though, too, I always encourage people to seek God first in every question that you have, because he will surely answer you, especially if it has something to do with getting right with him and making sure you're not repeating the same mistakes. So, on to 15. Beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. Ye shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Wherefore by their fruits ye shall know them. So in other words, by their fruits, by their works, by their deeds, their prophecies, because here we're talking about prophets. Are their prophecies accurate? But another way to tell too, instead of just looking at them, go to God, ask for confirmation. God will give you confirmation every time, whether someone is a true prophet of him or not. And that's all I'm going to say on that. Because we got a lot of people out here acting like they some real prophets, and they out here, as my apostle says, which is true, they out here prophet-lying instead of prophetizing. So seek God on that. And that's one common thing you're always going to hear me say is seek God. You can always ask people, yes, but the first way we should always go to is God. Questions, confirmations, everything. Seek him first. On to 21. Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name, and in thy name have cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonderful works? And then will I profess unto them, I never knew ye. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. And these are definitely times where we do not have time to be sitting around. These are the times to be doing God's work and getting ourselves right. Just look at the sign of the times. That's all I'm going to say on that right now. Look at the sign of the times, look at the things that are going around. And you can tell these are not times to be playing around with God. Therefore, whosoever heareth these things saying of mine, and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man which built his house upon a rock. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. And everyone that heareth these things, and everyone that heareth these sayings of mine, and doeth them not, shall be likened unto a foolish man, which built his house upon the sand. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat upon that house, and it fell. And great was the fall of it. And it came to pass, when Jesus had ended these sayings, the people were astonished at his doctrine. For he taught them as one having authority, and not as the scribes. So that there ends chapter 7. Just in other words, what is that? 24 through 27. Chapter 7, verses 24 through 27. In other words, where is your foundation built? Is your foundation built on God? Or is your foundation, which is the rock, which is strong, which of course he leads us through everything. He guides us. He helps us. He protects us. He loves us. He shows us kindness and mercy and love every single day. Or is your foundation built on sand? The world, something shaky. The rain and the winds and the floods come, and in other words, something happens in your life and everything crumbles. That's a shaky foundation. When things like floods and rains and winds, financial issues, things in your marriage isn't going right, children acting up, something's going on in the job, people are losing jobs. When these things come, which is the rain, the wind, the floods, when you're with God, you're not shaken by these things. You're like, okay, all right, Lord, I know these things are here, these things are happening, but I'm not upset. I'm not anxious, because I know that you have me. And you praise him through the good, and you praise him through the bad. Your foundation. Where is your foundation set? So that's something I'm going to leave you with tonight. Think about your foundation. Do you need to get closer to God? Maybe it's your first time talking to God. Don't think that there has to be some magnificent, glorious way when coming to God. Come to God first. Just, hey, Lord, this is where I'm at right now. And he hears you. He loves you. He hears you. He wants to talk to you. He wants to hear from you. Just talk to him. Lean on him. And he'll guide you. And he'll give you wisdom and discernment. All right, y'all. That was chapter 7. We will reconvene tomorrow night for chapter 8 of Matthew. Matthew is long. We're going to be here for a while, y'all. Y'all ready for that? This is pretty much the Bible in a year. Hey. All right. In the meantime, I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to redo my twist tomorrow. God bless y'all. Keep me in your prayers as I keep y'all in mind. Again, if you have any prayer requests, please feel free to either leave them in the comments or send them to me. You can send them to me privately through Messenger. If you have any questions about what we read tonight, please feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to go over those things with you. And I think that's it. Be blessed, everybody. Have a good night.